Hey Hearties, I'm Casey.
And I'm Cammie. Welcome to the Hearties Hotline,
your connection to Hope Valley.
We want to give a shout out to our friends at Edify Films, where you can get fabulous When Calls the Heart merchandise, like my hat.
And you can also get a fun When Calls the Heart game from our friends at the Bundle Game. Be sure to use discount code Hearties Hotline for 10% off.
We've got a fabulous episode for you today, full of laughter, tears, and heart.
So take a walk with us to Hope Valley and let's dive in.
Welcome back, Hearties. How's everybody doing? All right. I am Cammie the Hooked Hearty. You all know my lovely co-host, Hallmark my words, Casey.
Hello, friends.
And today, our special guest host is none other than Miss Nicole Smith. You know her well. Hi, Nicole.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good.
I just got a new mic, so I'm.
That's awesome. Good. I noticed that the other day.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do this a little bit differently. We're going to recap this episode with a series of moments. Okay. So first question I have for you ladies is your favorite moment overall. Your favorite moment overall of the entire episode.
Mm-hmm. When do y'all want to go first? I can't decide yet.
I will go first. My favorite, oh man, but okay, so I kind of know some of the categories that Cammie is asking about. So this might go into some of the other categories. So maybe it's cheating, maybe it's not, but you guys, Floyo is something I never knew I ever wanted because
that's the wrong show, Casey.
If you caught that reference, that must mean you know us very well.
Very well.
But
I caught it. Yeah.
Ooh, that is. That's. Casey is speechless.
Nicole, you grab a fan, I'll grab the mop.
Oh, but they are so sweet. Floyo and her concern for him and his that sudden like the hand thing, and then they like jumped away, and then it was like, man, this is what I need. This is what I feel like this season has been lacking a lot of that new romantic love, because I mean everybody's been an established couple, right? Except for we have the spicy
not
team.
Yet established.
Yeah, we have like Team Spicy. I just named Bill and Molly that because they are spicy. And we have that, and so that's a fun side. But then we have like Floyo, that's so sweet. I'm puddled now.
And I mean, they were just about to say something to each other when in walk Carson and Faith, which still propriety-wise, you should back off because that's a very private moment. But the fact that it was Carson and Faith, they totally would have understood.
Of all people, they definitely.
Of all people, yes. Of all people, they totally would have understood. I was like, no, keep going. They're good. They're fine. And may we address the hair?
I saw that.
When Ned said, I'm going to put a bell up so we do not get interrupted again. What are you thinking, Mr. Yost?
Yeah, I think my reaction was like, If you can't see me because you're listening on audio, I'm doing the whole hand thing, like with my
hands are going everywhere, all over her face.
I think when that scene was happening, Erin tweeted a GIF of, I think it was from season 4, maybe the baseball episode of her and Jack getting interrupted with, they were about to kiss or something, and somebody walked in. I think it was Rosemary.
Would not. Yeah, at the house.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. Oh, so Nicole, what are your thoughts on that beautiful Floyo moment?
I think that was definitely one of my favorites of the episode. It was really sweet. Her concern for Ned. And then I actually wrote down the magic hand moment, as people call it, which was kind of cute.
This magic moment when your hand is touching mine. Those are the wrong lyrics, but it works. We can't say his lips are close to hers, not yet. So.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, but I think that's coming. I think that is coming.
Oh.
That is gonna, oh my gosh, that's when everybody's gonna need a bucket of ice. I mean, forget the triangle. We're all gonna be melted when we see Floyo kiss for the first time. It's gonna be precious.
Oh.
It's gonna be precious. All right, Nicole, what was your favorite overall moment?
I probably have to say another one I really loved was Elizabeth and Robert's conversation, right before the graduation. And the clip of her playing kickball with the kids. That was really sweet.
That was so sweet. Oh, Robert, you're grown up.
And all the talk of graduation, I actually tweeted this yesterday, but all the talk of graduation really, I guess, had me feeling a little bit nostalgic of my time in school and my graduation. So.
Yeah. That was one of the things that I wrote down as coming out of left field. I'm like, he hugged her. Oh my gosh, teenage boy hugging teacher. And then you're not going to tell anybody I hugged you, right? Cross my heart. Just, that was precious. That was an adorable interaction.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. And it's one of those golden moments that you hardly ever get as a teacher, but when you do get them, oh, so beautiful, so rewarding, so amazing. Yeah.
I have some teachers that I still keep in touch with, and I'm grateful for all of their support over the years.
No, absolutely.
My first grade teacher is probably one of my favorite teachers I've ever had, but unfortunately she passed away, so I can't. I think some kind of cancer, which is really sad. But
that is sad.
Yeah.
It really makes me think of all the think about and treasure all the memories I had in her class.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, for Robert to hug Elizabeth, I mean, it was a little surprising because it's like he's a cool teenage boy or whatever, but it also shows that like how much he's grown to really appreciate his teacher, especially because remember little Robert and the bear and like the shenanigans that he would get into with Cody and all of that. Like, it's just, they grow up so fast, I didn't realize that he was that old. I was still thinking that he was like little Robert with the bear, but now he's like, I'm going to be a Mountie. Oh, you need a leader in the class. I got you, Mrs. Thornton. It's just so sweet. It's so sweet.
And that moment when he graduated, it brought me back to that time when he was talking to Elizabeth about becoming a Mountie, because remember, he said, I wouldn't attend my final year. And this is the proof that he changed his mind. He said he had changed his mind, but this is the follow through. And he has changed his mind. He went to school and finished school, which is always the best decision. Always finish your education and then go on. And now, who knows? Maybe he will become a Mountie. We don't really know what's going to happen to Robert now, which is a little sad because we don't know if he's leaving the show or not. But it can also be exciting because maybe they have a place for him. Maybe they have a way for him to stay in town. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
So. Okay. My favorite overall moment had to be the song.
Oh,
love that too.
The song was precious. It totally was. I do have to say, on my second time through, when Mrs. Thornton's smiling, it's a warm and lovely sight, like the time she took us camping on a magical spring night. Yeah, we all know why Mrs. Thornton was smiling on that magical spring night.
Guarantee it wasn't because she was camping with a bunch of little kids
who were afraid of dogs. I'm afraid of dogs too.
Oh my goodness.
It was the campfire. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I loved how they brought that back.
No, it was precious.
It was perfect.
It was
perfect to add into those lyrics. Because I mean, I wasn't thinking about that. Like, it's something I remember, obviously, but it's not something that I think back to all the time. So when they sang that line, I was like, oh, you guys.
Well, and it shows that events stick with kids.
Oh yeah.
You know, it shows that. And not most, but there was a sprinkling of kids in there that were there on the camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
And events are what stick with children. And so the fact that they included that, even though it's been several seasons ago now, it's just a sweet flashback. Yeah. And so on my first time around, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so dear. They're bringing it back. And then the second time through, I went, Mrs. Thornton's smiling, a warm and lovely sight. I know why. Okay. So let's talk about moments. Okay. So biggest surprise moment for you guys.
I'm going to take this a little bit differently.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of bomb drops for me in this where I was what in the world? So I'm going to take it. I'm going to go a different direction. I was delighted. Surprised and delighted.
I knew you were going to. I was like, do it.
Surprised and delighted that there were 2 little cameos in this. Kind of.
Okay.
They mention Abigail.
3 times.
And if you look at Elizabeth's roster with the parents, they also list Kat Montgomery.
I also saw that they listed her name Hazel Graves. So it looks like Caleb Dunbar maybe has a sibling.
Oh.
I don't know if y'all caught that.
No.
I think it was right above Allie's name.
I missed it.
I mean,
good eye, ma'am.
I missed time too.
Yeah. I mean,
but somebody else pointed it out to me. And then when I went back to watch it, I caught it.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense because we've talked to a lot of the former actors on the show who've said, we've asked them, where do you think your character is now? And they're like, we still think they're in Hope Valley. They're just in the background somewhere.
They're still there.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so Abigail gets mentioned 3 times, which I really love that no matter what is happening actor-wise, the character is not forgotten. That's why I love when they mention Jack, because it just shows that the character is not forgotten. And with that list, it's kind of a salute, I think, to the actors and the characters who have fallen into the black hole. Yeah. They're not forgotten. And then we have Rosemary mentioning Dottie and in a very prominent manner. So wow. Okay. So that was your biggest surprise. Okay. What about you, Nicole? What was your biggest surprise?
I'm so indecisive when it comes to stuff like this, but maybe I was surprised to see Ned delivering mail. I thought that was kind of.
I wrote that as something that came completely out of left field. Yes.
I actually wrote in my notes, I said, no delivering mail again. Now, this was the second time when he delivered mail to Nathan in the jail. I said, maybe he should join forces with the Postables at the DLO.
Okay, Eric Mavius, are you listening? We need you to hop over, time travel to because I think that Ned and Oliver would get along great. You know?
They would. Yeah.
They're both so old school. So I think Ned and Oliver, Ned would be the type of person that Oliver wouldn't mind taking to lunch. Right?
Yes. Yes, that tickled my funny bone a bit when he said something like, yeah, I should make this a regular job or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, that's funny.
Okay, I would have to say, okay, so I have a true surprise and I have kind of a laughing surprise. My laughing surprise was Elizabeth's second dress. Like, no, that's not Elizabeth. What in the world?
Definitely not.
I didn't know I was acting the way I'm acting now. What the? Oh my!
I did not like that dress at all.
It was a little shocking. I have nope. That is definitely not an Elizabeth dress. She's right.
Yeah, I mean, at least she acknowledged it when she pulled that out with Rosemary. I was like, that looks like something from your sister's closet, and I'm not talking about Viola.
No, we're not talking about Viola. I mean, when Gustav said, I am French, you know, I was like, who's the French one here, Gustav or Elizabeth? Because that looked very French. That looked very cutting edge. Mm-hmm. And I almost expected her to have black stockings and black heels on and start kicking her knees up to do the can-can. It was, not disrespectful or anything. It took me by surprise. I was very, very shocked.
I don't think the dress really suited her at all. But I did love the first one that she wore to the graduation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different. It is so not Elizabeth, which might be a clue.
Yeah.
It might be a clue that because it is so not her, and she was having the dress altered and fitted for her date with Lucas. Mm-hmm. Is that a clue? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hearties decide. It could be, it could not be. My serious surprise was Jesse's bad investment. I just went, it's all gone? What?
Mm-hmm. That would be my answer for things that came out of left field.
That was something on my list that completely came out of left field.
But since we're talking about that, let's talk about it really quick. Mm-hmm. Here's why I thought it was out of left field.
Okay.
Not necessarily because of his character, because we kind of have gotten these hints that he's a little, how does Dave Ramsey put it? Free.
He's sowing his wild oats, even though he's married. You know?
Well, I mean, if any of you have taken the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University, he talks about those who are like the ones that are very organized and very like to the book, and then you have like the free ones. I can't remember the exact terms he uses. It's good,
but okay. Go ahead.
Anyways, but yeah, he is very free. We've seen that with the motorcycle. We have known that Jesse made a mistake. We all assumed at this point, like he straight up bought that motorcycle without talking to Clara. And so when he is going, they're talking at dinner with Bill there and saying how Clara is going to possibly invest in be a partner with the cafe, blah, blah, blah. And you could tell Jesse's like panicked. And I'm like,
he started to sweat.
Yeah. And I was like, boy, you better fess up about that motorcycle. And then the next time we see them, Clara is fuming mad, which she has every right to be mad because it is not just his money and it is not just her money. It's their money. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they need to talk about anything above whatever price range it is. Like my husband and I, if it's something over $100, we talk about it because it's our money. Like we share a bank account. It's our money. We're married.
Wow. If it's over $10, Will and I talk about it. So.
Well, I mean, you listen, couples do whatever. Some people are like $10, some people are $100, some people are $1,000. Like, it's whatever. But there is that line where you talk about these things.
Right.
So when he came down and he said that he invested every dollar of their savings, I was like, you, sir, you did what now? You did you all of it? Like, who does that?
Well, and especially because he was so fiscally responsible, wanting to clear his debt and not pay off, but get the payments on his land handled before he even proposed to Clara. She took a second job so they could pay down the debt faster and get married quickly. And now, after that amazing streak of being so fiscally responsible, he blows every dollar they have?
Now, I will say acting wise.
Oh,
Aaron Buckles and Eva Bourne.
They did a great job.
Bravo.
That was an incredibly tense and thick and dramatic scene. Those two were amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And just that leave this house and the shattered look on he deserved it, but the shattered look on his face just was, oh man, it was incredible.
I felt so uncomfortable watching it because it felt so real. That is how amazing they did. I, for a moment there, when I was watching, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm watching a train wreck and I feel like I'm watching a real life couple argue and I feel so uncomfortable right now. But, oh man.
They did a great job.
They did. I would say those two, that scene for acting wise, they would get my MVP.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay. Your biggest laugh out loud moment.
Oh, my biggest laugh out loud moment.
Biggest laugh. I'll go first because I've got it. I've got a giggle fit moment and I've got a laugh out loud moment. My giggle fit was when Gustav said, "I am French. Don't even begin to tell me about romance." Like, I just giggled. I just giggled because he's so right. Lucas is saying, "This is very important to me." He's all nervous and concerned. And hey, buddy, I'm French. You don't have to explain it to me. So yeah, I giggled a lot. My biggest laugh out loud moment was the barber shop. Yes.
I was mine too.
My biggest laugh out loud moment was the barber shop between Molly throwing the cape over her face and Bill saying, "Hello, Molly." And then Clara burning off her hair in the screen.
Yes.
That whole barbershop scene was hysterical. And I even wrote in my notes, LOL moment.
Yes, that would legitimately be my laugh out loud moment too. The whole barbershop scene. And actually this morning, my youngest daughter, because everybody watched it with me last night.
Okay.
And so even up until this morning, my youngest is like, "Is Molly okay? What happened to her hair? Is she going to be okay?" And I'm like, "You sweet girl. She's going to be okay. She's going to be okay."
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Were there any other moments that maybe weren't your laugh out loud moments, but any other moments that made you giggle?
Lee reading the book, A Young Woman in Bloom. Oh no!
I wrote it down. And I loved how Rosemary called it an innocent romance novel, but There was nothing she loved better than a good scandal, kept stirred and glistening red, hot like the coals of a raging fire. What? It was just starting to get good.
Goodness.
You gotta love Pascal and Kevin, though. Every time they have that kind of banter, it's just golden. That too also felt like a real life couple moment too.
Oh, yeah.
They're so good.
Oh yeah, and just Lee when he goes, "Oh no," like, what is she reading? Okay, this isn't a moment per se, but let's just go to Lee and Rosemary for just a second. We didn't get to see a whole lot of Lee in this episode, which was a tiny bit sad for me. However, let's go to Rosemary is starting to talk about the fact that she wants to do something important. She wants to do something meaningful. What do you guys think? What do you guys think that's going to be? What's her meaningful and important?
I
can see it in your face.
My not a Hearty husband said she's pregnant. And I was like, He's like, think about it. She wants to do something important. You talk to Pascal, and what she wants to see Rosemary do is become a mother, because that is like, when we asked her what's one thing you would like to see Rosemary do that she hasn't done before, and she said motherhood. And my husband's like, I mean, there's that. She hasn't talked to Lee about it, so it could be the fact that she just needs to tell him, because sometimes people, like, they want to do a big to-do. They want to, I don't know. Some people just outright blurt it out. Some people want to do it in a special way. Like you see those YouTube videos about the buns in the ovens or whatever, or like puzzles or whatever. And I was like, I don't think she's pregnant. I really don't think she's pregnant, but we'll see, because Not a Hearty husband has some good insights. And if he's right, I'm going to be shocked. I kind of wonder if she wants to foster children.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I was about to say the same thing.
I wonder if it's
adopting.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one of those things where she has Rachel under her wing. She is older, so it's not like, raising a child from youth. So I kind of wonder if she sees the importance of giving children good homes that may not necessarily have them. And maybe she wants to adopt a whole bunch of kids. 4 wee ones, because Rachel would be the 5th. And we all know Lee said he wants 5
kids, children, wee ones. She wouldn't have to deal with diapers, depending on the age.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And she was so great with the 3 orphans from the Christmas movie. Oh my goodness. Past, present, and future in her dresses. Oh, top moment for me.
Apparently. All right, Nicole, what do you think?
About Rosemary?
Yeah. What do you think is her meaningful and important?
I think it's going to be adopting too, or fostering.
Okay. I don't know.
That's kind of the feeling I got. But I could be wrong.
I definitely think that it's a possibility. The way that she was talking, I don't know. I got the feeling that it was some kind of, I don't know. I got the feeling that it was some kind of endeavor, not involving children.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly, but I got the feeling that it was something that she was going to undertake. I don't think that it's building a theater for Hope Valley. I think that she's past that, but maybe something to do with the town. So I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. I didn't consider fostering, but it's a fabulous idea. My thought went to some kind of endeavor, but I really couldn't say what.
Yeah.
So
I forgot the other thing why my husband was like, she's pregnant. It's because she got moody with Lee and admitted it.
go stuff your trout.
That was hilarious.
That was one of the best lines of the night. Go stuff your trout.
Yeah, and she says to Elizabeth, and something about I haven't talked to Lee about it yet, and something about her blowing up at him, and that was the reason why, or something along those lines. And not a hearty husband was like,
I got upset with him, even though he should know why. You know, I was like, oh, that's such a woman thing to say. Such a woman thing to say.
Yeah.
I have said it so many times. I'm so guilty. I am so guilty of that. Okay, let's go to the most romantic heart melting moment. Romantic heart melting. Not necessarily, you don't have to make it only for the triangle, just a romantic heart melting moment for you.
Floyo.
Okay. Floyo. Okay.
Yeah.
That's your top one. Nicole, you too?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. This wasn't necessarily meant to be romantic, but it's what made my feelings melt the most when Elizabeth was talking to Allie. I mean, when Elizabeth was talking to Nathan about Allie.
Yeah, sorry, that too. I forgot about that.
I know that she wasn't trying to make it romantic, but oh my word. Oh my word. That, because he comes in a little salty. We don't blame him. You know, he just had his heart broken. Even Clark Kent rejected Lois Lane when she turned him down. You know, so that's in the 1990s TV show. So Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't find that romantic.
So let me explain. Nathan, you are Allie's world. You are the only father she's ever known. And as she grows up, you will always be the measure of the qualities she'll look for in a man as she chooses who to marry. And just the close-up of Nathan's face, and you can see his anger melting, and you can see him softening. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily a romantic moment, but it made me melt. It just made me melt.
It was a great moment.
It was so sweet. It was, and
I thought, sorry, go ahead.
Well, just he's moved on from the denial stage in his grief.
Yeah.
You know, he's moved on. And he's moved on to acceptance. And he shows that in the rest of the episode. He's incredibly kind the rest of the episode. And so I had to give him props for that. And it was that moment that turned him. So maybe that's not necessarily a romantic moment, but it was the one that just made me melt.
I really feel that this episode made Nathan look a lot more. I mean, of course, he's always been humble, but it made him a lot more humble in the sense. And a lot more,
vulnerable?
I don't know how to describe it, but...
Vulnerable, maybe?
Vulnerable, yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of feelings about this episode. If you were on our Instagram, you probably know that. But I'm trying to stay positive because I don't want to come across as a negative Nancy or whatever you want to call it, because
we don't know the whole story yet, which is the hard thing.
Right. We don't know the whole story yet. And I think that once we see the season in its fullest, everything will make sense. Kind of what Jada said. So it's kind of why I'm a bit hesitant in my answers. However, with that moment with Elizabeth and Nathan, I think I was more frustrated at Elizabeth for coming on so strongly with him, because I don't know about you, but PTM is optional. Unless the teacher calls me and says, hey, meet me at 1:00, which she might have. But I mean, to me, it sounded like it was kind of like, hey, come as you can, wait out the door, come on in as parents come in out and out. Cause that's how they do PTMs here. I was kind of like, if he wants to go fishing with Allie, let him go fishing with Allie. It's fine. It's fine.
Exactly. He has every right to spend time with his niece.
Yeah, it's fine. And besides, do you blame him for not wanting to be alone in the same room with you?
No.
I wouldn't want to be in the same room with you if you rejected me like that. Like, that's embarrassing. That's heart crushing. That's
incredibly awkward.
It's awkward. It is. And to pretend that everything's fine when it's not, that's even worse. So, I mean, I understand why. And I don't, honestly, Nathan could have been a little more, maybe less sassy in his, less salty in his, like, I want fishing. I don't blame him because I would do the same thing. But at the same time, is it right? No.
Right. Yeah.
I did appreciate his vulnerability showing.
Yeah.
I appreciated the fact that he did a 180 in this episode, and he is just accepting the fact that Elizabeth is not reciprocating his feelings.
Yeah.
I will say though, I wonder if his emotions were also tied to foreplay. And whatever happened,
very possibly,
Jack,
because he still didn't open up about it. Dang him!
Yeah, like I don't know. It could be there's something there. There's a deeper reason than just Allie as to why he was so vulnerable in that moment. And I think it had to do with Jack, and I think it had to do with foreplay. Long-winded answer.
It's okay. You mentioned little Jack. Let's go there for just a second. Is he sick? I think little Jack is sick. Because he wouldn't eat. And
he went to bed early, didn't he?
He went to bed early, but he couldn't quite sleep because he was missing her. And so Elizabeth canceled dinner at the saloon, but Lucas brought everything over there, which was very, very, very sweet of him. We'll get to that in a second, I promise. But yeah, Nicole, what do you think? Is Jack sick?
I think it could be possible because of he wouldn't eat and he had a hard time going to sleep. So I think it could be possible.
I'm wondering if there's something creeping up. I'm wondering if he's not feeling well and he's going to turn out to be sick.
I wonder if that's who will be in the infirmary in episode 7.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
I think it's either little Jack or Ned because
it's definitely
photos for next week.
Mm-hmm. Oh my word. I
didn't
think about little Jack being the reason that she's waiting outside the infirmary.
Mm-hmm.
Holy.
And if you've seen the Crown Media promotional photos, we know that something happens to Ned, which involves something with the infirmary, because we also see Elizabeth talking to Florence outside the infirmary in one of those photos. They have done these things before where they're teasing this one thing and we think, oh no, it's Ned. And then it's like next scene, something else happens and it's way bigger. So what if they have to do surgery?
Could be both. But I could be wrong.
It could be both. It could be both.
Could be.
What if little Jack needs his appendix out? No, we've already done that storyline.
I don't think they're going to do that. But
yeah, what if he needs surgery? That's why Carson
surgery of some kind.
That's why
Carson has to stay.
Exactly. That's why Carson had to do that surgery, because he could bring his knowledge to Hope Valley, and he's going to be the surgeon, and Faith is going to be the doctor, and Molly is going to be a nursing assistant. That's why they're all there. That's why Elizabeth can't be inside that's why she can't be inside the infirmary.
That would make sense.
Let's not get too hyped up about this idea, but it is definitely possible.
Fan fiction's going to happen.
Right. really quick, let's talk about the things that came out of left field that we haven't discussed yet. So number one, the sale of the dress shop. We were prepared for it. We were prepared for it because we saw it in the preview. But why would just all of a sudden like that? Why would Dottie just sell the dress shop without even discussing it with Rosemary and Clara? And why would the sale of the dress shop affect Rachel staying or going? That didn't make any sense. You know, I thought she was a little too quick to react. I mean, maybe that's teenage hormones, but I don't think that that would have any bearing on it, because she's not there because she got a job in the dress shop. She's there to live with Rosemary and Lee.
I didn't really understand that either.
I think it could have been the part about when she graduated, her parents were going to make her work in their furniture store. And so it could have been one of those things that mom set up as like, you're going to be here. You can work in the dress shop, fulfill your dreams. You can learn all the things from Aunt Rosemary. And then once you're done with that, maybe you can, I don't know, venture off. We'll support you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they had fashion school back then or whatever, but like, it was just a way for her to have a stepping stone, but still stay in Hope Valley rather than her going to say Hamilton by herself and have no influences there. So I was wondering if she was kind of panicking because like that's something that she found out that she was good at, and now it's being taken away from her. And on top of that, she's also homesick. So now it's like, well, if there's no dress shop here and she's still getting to know her aunt and uncle that she's only known for like what, a year or so, if that,
maybe.
And I mean, like they've seen each other now like a very few times.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know Rosemary and Lee like that. She doesn't know like their intentions with her. For all she knows is it's my aunt and uncle. They have no ties to me. They can send me home because the dress shop's closed.
Okay. That's a very good point. That's a very good point because, and you know, maybe that was kind of a condition that Susanna said to Rachel, you know, if you're going to stay, you're going to work. Dress shop closes. Fine. Come home and work in the furniture shop.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Nicole, what do you think?
I think that's possible. But y'all, I agree with y'all. That's what you said.
You're closer to a teenage age than we are. How would you have reacted?
I wouldn't say that I would have run away per se, like Rachel did, but
okay.
I would say that I would be disappointed in somewhere that I had just started working, being possibly sold to somebody else.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, here's what I thought was out of left field. The whole story about her getting lost in the woods.
Mm-hmm. It was anticlimactic, kind of. I thought there was going to be a whole lot more to it.
I did too.
I admit I did too. I didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's done. But, you know, going back, I'm like, there wasn't so much with that. So.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of like, what's the point of her getting lost in the woods? Because we didn't see frazzle panic from Rosemary. Like we saw nervousness, like, oh, stink, we lost my niece. My sister is going to kill us. But I really thought it was going to be one of those things where Rachel was like, I need to I'm going. And she just runs off and they're like, oh, okay, well, you know, she's an adult. We're just going to let her cool off. And she I thought they were going to go do the whole runaway storyline. She just got lost in the woods. She just got lost. She didn't know where she was going. And I thought we were going to see more.
She?
I don't know. But we didn't see any, I don't know. That fell flat for me. I'm very sad to say it, but I was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
But she's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I am. I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Bill in the Surge.
Okay.
That was another favorite part of mine.
I thought we were going to
so emotional.
I thought we were going to have more with that. I really did. I really thought that Nathan was going to take a sabbatical and he was going to say, hey, You're it, Mr. Judge, since you have the credentials for it.
Well, and did you, I have to say, as of right now, you are Hope Valley's one true hope for safety and security.
I wrote that down too.
That was great. That was great. But did you guys hear what he whispered when he was trying it on? Because I didn't hear it until my second time through.
I think I wrote it down. Just give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said it doesn't matter anyway. And then he just kind of threw the red surge onto the cell door.
It doesn't matter anyway. Is there something going on inside Bill that is unfulfilled? And he got a taste of it trying on that red surge again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big one. And I find it really interesting juxtaposition because Nathan said that he is so excited to be out of his uniform for the next couple of weeks. And then Bill puts his on for the first time in who knows how long. And he gets so emotional about it and then just kind of puts it out of his mind. I thought, oh my.
I think I remember seeing something in one of the episode synopsis, maybe episode 8, possibly. I can't remember. But I think it's going to come back up.
Yeah, I think so too. But can we just say, can you imagine seeing Molly see Bill in a red surge?
In the full uniform? Oh my.
Ooh la la.
Okay, last one that I have. Carson's Johns Hopkins offer. Whoa. I mean, we've already established our take on how he's not going to go. But storyline wise, that has not happened. So that kind of came out of left field.
Kind of. That one didn't surprise me as much because I had a feeling that Carson is ready to move on and do something bigger and better.
Yeah,
I inkling.
I think I was surprised that it was at the most prestigious one in the country. I think that kind of went, whoa, okay, wow. He did a very good job at that operation in Union City. So
yeah, I think I was more surprised that he was telling Faith, "Come with me," and I was like, "But Hope Valley needs a doctor. Like, what are you talking about? Come with me."
Yeah. I don't want to say it because I love Carson and Faith, but I feel like there might be a breakup coming on.
When Faith said, Carson, we're not even married, I went, Carson, you can do something about that. I know that she said, I'm happy here in Hope Valley. So even if he had that thought, maybe that talked him out of it. But, I'm just, Carson, you can do something about that. Yeah, you can. You can.
I don't think it's going that way.
I don't know. I'm trying not to make assumptions because I want to see how it plays out, but we shall see. Okay. Final topic. The man of the hour, because I got to say, ladies, he was the man of the hour.
Lucas Bouchard?
Mr. Lucas Bouchard.
And the crowd goes wild.
He did not make one wrong move in this entire episode. He really didn't.
I've got to say, I feel bad for Lucas. I really do. And here's why. Because, and this is from a fan perspective, and y'all know I prefer Nathan for Elizabeth. I don't have anything against Lucas. However, I feel bad for him because I think that too many people, I feel like people are not giving him enough credit. I think that's why I feel bad for him. It is not his fault that he's in the predicament that he's in. It's Elizabeth's. She made the decision. She made the decision not to be with Nathan. She's making the decision to try this relationship out with Lucas. And like I said, I'm nervous. I am nervous for if Elizabeth decides that Lucas is not the one for her, how is Lucas going to react to that? I am nervous for that. I don't like it. I'm really starting to despise this triangle story because I feel for both guys.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair. And I'm trying to put it in the perspective that the writers did say this season spans over 8 months or something along those lines. It's not a 3-month period where she's going to flip flop. She's not going to do this whole like speed dating thing. So there is going to be time for a relationship to develop within however long it's going to be. But I mean, it's not Lucas's fault. He can't help that he's attracted to her. If you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to somebody. You can't help that. You can't just be like, I got to put blinders on and not be attracted to this person.
He's going to pursue what he likes.
Yeah. And he should, as should any person. They should pursue who they like. And it's not his fault that he's in this situation. You guys.
Okay, but let's talk about
the positivity.
Feeling.
Okay. That horseback riding date.
Can we talk about how elegant Chris looks on a horse? Chris has said Kevin's the better rider. I don't ride as well as Kevin.
They sure could fool me.
I know. He was sitting tall and straight. He looked like an Englishman.
He looked.
I was like, man, dude, you got some good form there. He was looking so elegant and so professional, and he was laughing and having fun with her and doing that wonderful banter. And then on top of all of that, when they're on the bridge, he's thoughtful. He says, I'm not going to attend the ceremony because you and I spending time together is bound to be uncomfortable for Nathan. And today is about him and Allie. So I'm not going to come. I went, okay, man. Okay. Wow. You are plucking at my heartstrings, Mr. Bouchard. You know?
And here's the other thing too with Lucas. First of all, that horseback riding date, like I said, I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. I had no idea that I would be at this point. And I was just, when I was watching these scenes with Lucas, and this is coming from my perspective, I think she's going to end up with Nathan. That is just how I feel like the story is going.
Right.
I wish we had this last season. I wish we had these dates last season, because I feel like it would have been a more appropriate timing for her to break something off with Nathan and say, I don't think we should see each other. Date Lucas for a decent time. And we see how they are as a couple. We see these awkward things, or maybe we see how they mesh. I don't know. But I wish we had this last season, because one of my biggest problems with Lucas last season is I felt that he wasn't upfront with his intentions. I felt that he was just trying to play his cards right, so to speak, because he is a gambler. I didn't like that feeling. Okay. This season, I like seeing the fact that he is upfront and he is taking the initiative. He is leading that relationship. And I feel like if this happened last season, I don't know, I might be a team split. I liked the date. I'm sorry. I loved it.
No,
I loved the date.
The date I just said it. The date was fantastic.
Yeah. And if you think about the music is everything.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to say the music they play with Elizabeth and Lucas is the same music that they played when she found out that she was expecting baby Jack. Either that or it's very similar, because this music with baby Jack is not necessarily it's not like the I'm pregnant music. It's the music of a new beginning is happening for Elizabeth. The chapter has closed.
Okay.
And a chapter is opening with Jack's grief, with her grief regarding Jack. Because we see in that final episode, she's mourning the loss. And then we have this specific music. Whenever she kind of like told Lucas, hey, I'm open to us being together from last episode, it was the same music that they played when they're on their horseback riding. And I feel like that music is symbolic of Elizabeth moving forward. it's another stage of grief that has closed.
Yeah.
And she's moving forward on her journey. So I found that kind of interesting.
Well, no matter what's going on, Lucas is definitely walking with a lighter step and a bigger smile.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, give us your thoughts on the man of the hour.
What to say?
Try really hard to be objective now.
I will say that I do like Lucas. I think he's a good man, but I do think he's a good man, and I am glad that they are getting to explore the relationship that with Elizabeth. But I can't deny that it was a little bit uncomfortable seeing Lucas and Elizabeth together, just because I'm so Team Nathan, but I will give it a shot. I will give it a chance.
So I heard a lot of flack about the candles thing. Number one, the man wants to set a mood. Number two, it's outside. There's no such thing as porch lights or street lights. They've got to be able to see dinner. So the spreading of candles, I think, is a practical reason as well as a romantic one.
I thought Elizabeth did all the candles.
Oh, you think she did?
No, I really do.
Well,
I thought that's
the reason she owns a lot of them because of Jack.
Well, yeah, no, I thought that she said, okay, and this might have been a miss here on my part. Did she just told Laura, go to the saloon and talk to Lucas, right? Did she say that she was actually canceling dinner?
She said, will you take a note? She said, will you take a note? I don't think she was canceling.
Okay.
I don't think she was canceling.
That's why I thought that she, in that note, was telling him to go to her place. And I thought she set up all the candles.
See, I don't know.
Because why would he waste all that time? Like, he's expecting her. He would have to go get everything down. He has to get the food. He has to get the plates and all that stuff.
True.
So I thought she set the moon and had all the candles, because we all know that Kat Montgomery's in the black hole making all those candles for Jack and Lucas. And she set them up and he just brought the food. That's really what I thought.
And a gramophone.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. That was what I thought.
No, that's a good point. I do think that it is for romantic setting, but like I said as well, they're outside. It's night. They're going to have to be able to see. Mm-hmm. So I think it was for practicality as well.
Yeah. I will say with this dinner date, I was disappointed. I wanted more.
Oh, she wanted more.
I did. I like depth. I like deep conversations. I like one-on-one deep conversations. I like knowing what ticks off a character. I like seeing where they don't get along, where they do get along, where they mesh, where they don't. I got more out of their not a date library snack, as Cammie called it, from season 7 than I did with this date, other than the fact that they're moving forward and that they held hands-ish and that she would like to take it slow.
She kind of looked uncomfortable, in my opinion, maybe a little bit when Lucas shook her hand. Yeah.
She did. She was very uncomfortable. And there was a very clear shot of her wedding ring. Yeah. Which I think is a very clear symbol that there are still, even though she is with Lucas technically right now, there is still a very clear obstacle. Yeah. Between the two of them. She is taking his hand and she is moving forward, but there are still things that stand in the way. And that's why I think the scene where she takes off the ring, whatever prompts her to do it, is going to be so powerful, because that will mean that there are no more obstacles holding her back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was the two scenes that we got with Lucas and Elizabeth, I think they were, the scenery with the bridge scene, I thought it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And the date was beautiful. Even being a Team Nathan fan, I thought the date, candlelit dinner was really pretty, but it didn't really live up to the hype that Hallmark made it out to be. Yeah. I guess.
Well, Hallmark is always going to hype. Any preview is going to hype things. Yeah. I personally didn't have a problem with it. Yeah. I personally didn't have a problem with it because it felt like something starting, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see more next episode.
Yeah.
So we're really gonna see more next episode.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's also the fact that we haven't seen a lot of Lucas with little Jack this season. We don't even see we don't even hear him ask about little Jack. Like we don't hear those conversations between them. We don't hear that conversation of like, you know, I feel like it would be appropriate for Lucas to ask Elizabeth like about her past relationship so he can understand how to move forward with her. And I just feel like if we're going to go there with Lucas, we need to go there. We need to go deeper.
We need more.
That's one thing that really bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Lucas as a person, but that's one thing that really bothers me. He never asks about little Jack. And if he does, it's very rare.
There are two things that have yet to happen. He has yet to set foot in Elizabeth's house, and he has yet to hold little Jack. And I
we've seen Nathan go into the house twice. I think
I really am. If she chooses Lucas, I am craving for that to happen. If she does choose Lucas, I've got to see that connection.
Yeah.
Because we all know Lucas is doing just fine in the grand gestures and the romance department. He's got that down.
Yeah. A+. A+, sir. A+.
A+, Mr. Bouchard.
What did y'all think about the conversation Lucas had with Carson? I wrote it down. Lucas said, I don't accept things easily. I would say I'm more the master of my own destiny type, but I do like it here. And then he kind of walked off. What do you think that even means?
Well, and he wanted to be Robin Hood. He wanted to be Robin Hood as a little boy. I think the fact that he says he's the master of his own destiny, and then he says, I like it here, means that it's his choice. And we all know that his choice is because of Elizabeth. Now, who knows if it's going to stay that way or if it's going to change, but he chooses where he goes, and he's in Hope Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I hope we go deeper next episode. I really, really do. I'm nervous. Again, I'm just nervous because I just don't want to see him hurt. I don't want to see him hurt. And we're walking a fine line here, Hallmark. We're walking a fine line here.
I mean, there are, once again, these episodes are leaving us with a lot of questions, and it feels like they are setting a lot of groundwork for things to come.
Yeah.
So we will see what the foundation brings with it.
And we still don't know more. They're going to bring up more Fort Clay. So I'm just a nervous wreck, you guys.
He's a little bit of a basket case.
I'm a little bit of a
for Easter coming up.
Oh, I am. I'm nervous about Lucas. I'm nervous about Nathan. I'm just like,
focus on Floyo, girl. Focus on Floyo.
Yes, Floyo, Team Spicy, Rosemary, and her secret adventures, and I don't know.
Y'all mentioned this before. I know you have, Casey, but I think the only way that this will turn out okay in the end is if either Elizabeth figures it out on her own, or Lucas is the one to push her.
Yeah.
Towards. It's going to be. I think it's going to be either way. I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but I feel like that would be the best option.
Yeah.
To make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. All right, Hearties, tell us your thoughts about this ground laying episode.
And talk Casey off the ledge, because right now she's standing looking over the cliff at the show going, what are you doing to me, Hallmark? What are you doing to me?
Have no fear, Hearties. I got her. I'm going to pull her back because no matter who she ends up with, we're gonna be okay, right, Casey? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
living
Nicole?
in the moments. I'm living in the episodes.
Right, Nicole?
I am too Nathan, but all things considered, I just want her to be happy.
Yeah.
Excellent. We are Team Elizabeth.
Team Hope Valley.
Team Hope Valley.
Team Hope Valley. All right, Hearties, have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching. We hope you enjoyed this. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
I'm so glad. And we will see all of you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh boy.